right, so we'll go ahead and we'll get to talking. And those that can hop on can come on when if they have audio options. So I'll start. I am Layla Miller. We'll just kind of do the basic introductions. I'm the president of Leaders in Service, and I am a teacher. I teach high school theater, and I've been in Rotary. I mean, if you include Ryla, since I was in high school, which I did interact, and then kind of dropped off and then joined Rotary as soon as I moved back home. And I live in Texarkana, Texas. Anyone else? Wanna go?
Now the Illinois Club, go ahead.
Okay,
Trent,
I'll go
start us off.
make sure my audio is on. My name is Trent West. I'm the president of the Rotary eClub of Central Illinois. I'm an attorney. I live in Nokomis, Illinois, which is central, southern, middle of the state, surrounded by cornfields. Have a general practice law firm, and been in Rotary 10 or 11 years amongst several different clubs, and then was one of the founding members of our club.
Kids, have you got kids, Trent?
I have three, 9 years old, 7 years old, and 5 years old. They'll be here any minute. My wife, who's also in our club, our immediate past president, Crystal, she'll be back. She's running them to and fro summer dance camp. So
Busy household.
yeah, always fun.
All right, now our turn. Elizabeth, you go ahead.
Sure. So my name is Elizabeth Pawanka. I am currently residing in Bryan College Station, Texas. As some of you might have heard earlier, we're working on wrapping up my PhD in educational psychology. I've been affiliated with Rotary since I was in Interact in high school as well. Officially joined Rotary back in 2014. We'll go with that. So about to be 10 years, and joined this club not too long after it got up off the ground. So a lot of us are connected to District 5830 through our RILA experience. Not all of us, but a lot. And so that was kind of the rally point for a lot of us.
All right. But
I'm Matt McElroy. I'm the treasurer of the club here in Illinois, and been with Rotary for almost 10 years. Like Trent, different clubs, and I work as a consultant for an accounting firm in St. Louis. And yeah, I have two little ones myself, or not quite as many as Trent, but I have a 12 and a 9-year-old, so they're a handful.
my sister used to be a consultant with Arthur Anderson back in the day. So
yeah, I work for Forbes now, which used to be BKD, but they merged with DHG. So all the acronyms came together to actual one word now. So
all right, let's see on our side. I got Andrew. How about Andrew? Go ahead.
Howdy, I'm Andrew Lamond. I live outside of Nashville, Tennessee. I'm the service chair for our club, and I'm in the Tennessee Air National Guard, but I'm working full time with the Air Force right now. So doing cyber things for Uncle Sam. I've been in Rotary since I joined initially in 2018, I believe. Was out and then rejoined when we formed this club.
Rehearsal is about to start for me, so I'm going to jump in. Nice to see everyone. I'm Jillian Miley. I'm a secretary and president-elect. That's terrifying. I double booked tonight, and I have a ensemble rehearsal, so I will not be on. Layla, I'm going to make you host as I dip out because we are just about to get started. So, hi everyone.
Nice meeting
you. For those of you who got in late, they're doing Handel's Messiah rehearsal. So I told her she ought to cut us in when they get to the chorus, and we'll stand up. So,
Yeah, she's on her phone. She can just turn it around and we can watch.
Yeah, great thing. Let's
Um,
see now, Pam Kochevar, I'll say that, I'll get it right. Kochevar, tell us, introduce us here, tell us.
Hi, I'm Pam Kochevar. I'm a chiropractor in Hillsborough, Illinois. Once again, not too far from Trent, central Illinois, an hour north of St. Louis and about 3-4 hours south of Chicago. Been in practice for 37 years, have kind of a family practice, do a little bit of everything in the practice. I have a daughter who is grown and I have 2 grandchildren, and I am a member of the E-Rotary since it founded. And prior to that, I had a little bit of a gap, but then I was a member of the Hillsborough Rotary Club. That was the physical club. And I just kind of found it was too hard to make those Wednesday meetings. And so I hung in for a long time and then I finally dropped, and then Trent approached me about, maybe joining this club. So here I am.
Are those grandkids, are they like very special grandkids, good looking, smart, really?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Not at all. Yeah, 3-year-old, and then she's 5 weeks old. It's a little brand new one, a little girl, little boy and a little girl.
And what do they call you as grandmother?
Well, Bada, which is, it's sort of a made up word that Cam coined when he couldn't say Nana. So I don't know, it came out Bada and it stuck.
Excellent.
That's adorable.
It's original. Yeah.
Better that way.
Mhm.
We have someone I want to introduce you. This is the person who's most responsible for everything in our club, and this is Sarah Jenkins. Wave, Sarah.
Was
Yes.
so yes.
Hello.
My name on here is confusing, but I'm just Sarah, and like Wes said, I am partly at least responsible for this club existing. Did a lot of the paperwork to get us official. So I joined Rotary initially in 2016 with an in-person club outside of Dallas, Texas, and right as we were chartering this club and the pandemic was starting, I was packing my bags and moving to North Carolina, where I am now. So it was perfect timing to start an eClub, to stay involved in Rotary and connected with all my fellow Rotarians while I moved across the country and the world shut down. So that's one of the reasons we exist. I work professionally in website strategy and marketing type of stuff, real nerdy fun stuff. That's me.
Yeah, we are here because of her hard work. So.
And the hard work of everyone else.
Let's see here. We've got, I'm going to do, let's see here. How about Emily? Emily, you want to talk, Emily? And then we'll go to Pam Phoenix, Dr. Pam.
Hello, sorry, I joined kind of late. What are we sharing?
We're talking about our most, embarrassing moments in our life. We're sharing something no one else knows about. So go ahead, it's your turn. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, don't do that. Okay. Just introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you? And how long have you been a Rotarian?
Oh, okay. I'm Emily Churchill. I am from Springfield, Illinois. And I've not been a Rotarian very long, but I've had a long history with Rotary. So back in 2013, I was an exchange student through Rotary Youth Exchange down to Peru. And then I think I've been part of this eClub since we formed. So that's how long I've been a Rotarian. So
Excellent. Dr. Pam Phoenix.
Yes, my name is Dr. Pamela Phoenix. I reside in Tyler, Texas. I am a landman for, since 2006. I lose count, some years. And my doctorate, unlike being a chiropractor, I have a doctorate in theology. And I am so fortunate and blessed to have a friend in Wes. I have not made the big leap into becoming a Rotarian, but I will be doing it quite soon.
We want your check. That's what we're going to get, your money, and you will be official. That's right. Rotary is very good about closing the deal. We'll close the deal.
Close the deal.
You know, when I was a member of the Hillsborough Physical Club, our sort of general unofficial rule was if you attended 2 meetings, you were automatically a member. So it was kind of the joke of the club.
All right, I am an honorary member now.
Let's see.
I'm excited.
Let's see. I don't know. We've got Emma Faye left and Jody Reynolds. Jody, do you want to talk? I don't think we did, Jody.
Yep, I'll jump on here. I'm one of the ones who don't have the video on. I'm sick, but I am the secretary for our eClub, so I am taking notes. I'm from Nokomis, and I am currently the CEO of MarkNet Alliance. It is a franchise service company for auctioneers all over the country. So we service auctioneers and set them up with marketing, websites, and things like that. I've been in Rotary for a little over a year. I also, my husband and I, we have a farm, so we farm 800 acres. So we're pretty busy with 4 kids and everything that we do on the farm. And I just love Rotary because it's an opportunity to give back. Like to be a servant. I have a servant's heart and I like to be involved. Sometimes I spread myself a little too thin, but that's why I like the eClub too. I can just hop on here. I don't have to physically be anywhere, and I get to meet great people and do pretty cool projects and feel happy about myself and happy about my community at the end of the day.
4 kids. I've still got you beat. My wife and I have 5, so we win again.
Good deal.
So yes. All right. And Brian, let's hear from Brian. Oh, not getting any sound. Still no sound.
What about now?
Turn the volume up.
How about now?
It's pretty light, but if you can turn it up, go for it.
I'll just yell at you. My name's Brian Gaskin. I'm also from Nokomis, Illinois. I work as an administrator for a 501c3 that provides services for adults with developmental disabilities. No kids. And I've been in Rotary since 2021.
That's great. Emma Faye, I think you're last on the group here. Why don't you bring it on home?
Hi, I'm Emma Faye Lemons. I am helping my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. They started feeling sick, and so I came over to help with the twin baby girls and my other niece, Riley. So sorry if I'm kind of off and on. I've been a Rotarian since 2021, and I live in Weatherford, Texas, which is west of Fort Worth. I was very involved with RILA and on the operations team for RILA for our district. And Ella here is going to be in Rotaract in about 15 years.
Sign her up right now. They'll see that in Illinois. They'll at the headquarters. They'll see date of birth. Okay, and they'll say, "Oh, this must be a typo." And say, "No. We just start early." So
There is no age limit. You can be as young as you want, really.
there you go. There, done. You know, we'll drive we'll have the average age. I mean, we already got the average age in the district. The youngest age, we'll just move it down even more. All right.
Wes, did you actually introduce yourself?
Oh, I guess not. I James, but I go by Wes to people who know me. James Wesley Balding. It's one of those things I just hate having to explain it all over and over. So James is fine. I'm an attorney. I've got the gray hair, so I win the age category. But my wife and I have been married 36 years, and we have 5 kiddos. My wife is on a plane right now to the UK for the summer. She's staying with our oldest daughter, and my youngest daughter is already there. And then we have one living in Africa, one living in, let's see, one in the Air Force in Nevada, and then my middle daughter is an artist in Berlin. She's married, and she and her husband live in Berlin. And so that's what we did. We raised our kids to travel. So I'm an attorney. I do civil litigation. I was a CPA back in the day, worked for a consulting firm, big 8 accounting firm, that sort of thing. The only other notable thing is I got an opportunity to serve in the Army for a long period of time. I had the honor of serving as a lieutenant colonel. My rank was lieutenant colonel when I retired as a JAG officer in the reserve. So Texas A&M undergrad, Baylor Law School, Army War College, all good stuff. And so I've been a Rotarian for, I guess, 20 plus years, but I'll tell you, just won't bore you with the details. What really Rotary was just a place where I went for lunch for a long period of time until I made my first trip. Well, during one of my trips out of the country, I went to a local Rotary Club, and I could see the value of connecting with Rotarians in other countries and what could be done if Rotarians work together. That's what sold me. So I've been twice now, and we have a heart-to-heart program. You may have heard there are a number of Rotarians in your area who participate in heart-to-heart. Great program. Go down to Mexico City, find ways to give money, participate in making that money well spent and helping some people really put it to good use. And so that's what Rotary is all about. It's about taking money and talent, moving it where it can be used best, and having some friendships and some rewards along the way. And I think it was Jody who said that best, that it's about making a difference in people's lives, and we can do that. We have a privilege, we have the ability, we have the money, the time. Let's think about somebody besides ourselves for a change. And so these are my friends who helped me do it.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for sharing. Stacy, did we get you since you just hopped on?
And I think I think we still need to hear from Alice and then
Oh,
Greg,
yeah.
I believe.
Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Alice. I'm the president-elect for our club. I am a home care visiting angels owner director for St. Louis. I've been with Rotary since 2019. I initially was with a physical location-based club, and then whenever this club developed, I jumped on board to help get us off the ground. And I love it. So I'm excited about this meeting. I have 5 kids also. So yeah, we're tied for that.
It's a tie. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, Alice. Greg, you want to go? You just turned yourself off.
Oh, okay. Am I on? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Greg Strowman. I'm a podiatrist. Been part of District 5830 since probably 97 or 98, I think. I was in the Jacksonville, Texas club for a while, and then I had my practice there for about 23 years. After the kids kind of were in college, I decided to shut down the private practice and joined a big group practice in the Rio Grande Valley. So I'm right on the border down here by Mexico. So getting my Spanish better, treating a lot more diabetics than probably more than I was doing so back up in East Texas. But yeah, I've been part of Rotary for quite a while. I got to know a lot of these people through RILA. I was kind of one of the Rotarians that helped work at RILA, which was a lot of fun. So I got to know a lot of people through there. But I've got 3 kids, all Aggies. One of them is a member of this club, but he's not here today. I now have 2 grandkids, one on the way. And who was it Pamela saying her name? My granddaughter can't say grandpa, so she calls me B-ball. It's similar to what your name was. Yeah, so I'm B-ball to her. So, but just grandpa to the other one, I guess. He can't really, doesn't say much right now, but so yeah, that's me.
My grandparents live on the border during the winter seasons in San Benito. Are you close to there?
Oh, yeah, that's partly where I practice. I go to San Benito, Harlingen, and Brownsville.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
3 different
Absolutely.
clinics.
Yeah. It's a nice area.
Yeah, we have a lot of winter Texans. They're from Illinois?
Yeah, they're from Illinois. Yeah, they live in Nokomis, where several of our
Okay.
people live.
Okay.
I was from Nokomis. I live in Highland, which is just outside of St. Louis. But
Okay.
they're winter Texans, snowbirds.
Yeah, we have a lot of those here, so that's good.
Awesome. Stacy, are you able to talk? Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like I'm going to be introducing myself to my club members as well, because I can't remember the last time I actually was able to get on a meeting. So I actually live in Springfield, Illinois. I've been a Rotarian for just over 4 years. I originally started with the downtown Springfield Club. There's 5 clubs in Springfield. I still do a lot of service projects with that club right now. And I started with the eClub because professionally, I am with the Alzheimer's Association. I'm the area education manager. So right now I'm covering 16 counties. So I travel a lot. And so I thought the eClub would be a really good fit, but I actually have been in Quincy, Illinois, and I've attended more of those meetings with their club than I have the eClub. So yeah. But other than that, through Rotary, I'm involved with youth exchange. And I'm super excited about this project. We're putting together a community-wide Interact Club in Springfield. So supporting that as well.
At my at my school, they were passing out flyers about that. It made me excited to see.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing, Stacy. So I think that's everyone now. Thank you all for joining tonight. So some of the things that we talked about discussing was kind of a back and forth, kind of sharing our eClub experiences and kind of how our meetings are set up. So we can learn from each other and see what's working and what we could possibly improve upon, because that's part of life, is just learning and improving. So we'll talk a little bit first, but kind of just general, like how our meetings kind of run. So we meet as a club the first and third Tuesdays at 6. And depending on when we can get a speaker scheduled, one is like a speaker-led meeting, and then the other is kind of more like a social meeting. So sometimes we'll have like a game night, sometimes we'll have a kind of a fun topic. We've done we've talked about each other's favorite things to do, and so then we kind of lean towards on that. And then on the 4th Tuesday is our board meetings. All the babies are here. So cute. Yeah, as like Liz just put in, we've done virtual escape rooms a lot. We love to work together on those and really see if we can get through the rooms. And then we are also very competitive sometimes. And we do trivia based on, we'll like kind of do half and half, depending on how many are on. We have some like Harry Potter fans. We've done general trivia. We do Christmas trivia around that time of the year. So we, as you can tell, we like to have fun. And so if we're not like doing something that is worthwhile and meaningful to us, and part of that is the camaraderie, because a lot of us have kind of grown up together. We said a lot of our like relationships were formed with Ryla. And so then our speaker meetings, we have had the widest range of speakers that when I was doing in-person lunch clubs, they're all kind of like based around your community. These we have had Sarah's brother has spoken, and he works for, I'm not going to say it wrong.
He's in the Air Force and top secret clearance, so I don't know what he does.
Yeah, he talked about top secret stuff.
And he's in Korea, so he talked about like Asian connections and government stuff.
We've had that. We have had entrepreneurs that have their own tailoring company, 'cause a lot of us are of the younger generation, and so dressing professionally is something that we're not like the greatest at, but we also need options that are on the cheaper end rather than a $500 suit. So we have had a wider range of speakers, and so that's kind of like depending on when our speaker schedule, whether it's the first or the third. So that's how we go. What about y'all, Trent?
So that's great. We're first and third Tuesday of the as well at 6:30, so that worked out well for us. As you can tell, things got loud here with dogs and the kids running in. We started in 2021. It was actually my wife's idea, and we'll be around here at some point. And so we reached out and looked in our general area, and we live in a very rural community, and there's a lot of small towns without Rotary clubs. So towns that used to have them a long time ago, but this is Riley.
Hi, Riley.
She's one of our honorary members as well. And so we've started having speakers. We haven't had as many yet. Slime Play-Doh stuff. It'll be in my carpet later.
It's dough.
Dough, okay. So we have a pretty wide range of members, spanning 60, 80, 100 miles. None out of state yet, but we imagine we will at some point. I've been in several other noon clubs, 2 noon clubs, an evening club, all in person, and based on COVID and moving to this area that we were at that didn't have a club, we figured that just doesn't work well for us. Most lunches I work through lunch. Most lunches my wife aren't available for meetings either, and that's kind of been most of our members are the same ways, that we're on the road or we're in meetings, or we just can't make noon meetings work. Maybe we're just all workaholics, but it is what it is, but we're still wanting to provide service. So we've done various projects. We utilize a lot of grants. We have 2 grants per year that have really been a big help for us, because as a new club, as you guys may be able to attest, we don't have much money in our account, and we keep our dues very low. And so we use a literacy grant. We usually get about $2,500 a year for that. And then the same with the district grant. So 2 grants a year, and literacy and youth are the biggest things that we've been a focus on. We try to sponsor 2 RALIS students as well each year, which this past year just got over last month, or April, actually. Alice's son and his friend did it and talked at a meeting, but a lot of us are not the average age of most Rotarians. And so we all have little kids running around in very complicated schedules that we try and make work. And so it was really been helpful to have an eClub and more lax attendance policies. But we're excited about the new year. We have Alice coming in as president-elect, and then Jody is president-elect nominee. And so I'm happy to have, that 2 people in a row. Usually you have 1, you're lucky to get that. And so it's been good to have a mix of Rotarians, former Rotarians as well as the newbies. And so with everybody else, we try and paint it as, we're an opportunity to provide service. Yes, you can go out and do it yourself, but, we have the structure, we have typically funds. And I know a lot of other Rotarians in bigger groups and bigger clubs, and, we've reached out to them and stated, hey, we're here to help. So our goal with being a Central Illinois club is to have members in each locale area. And if you want to do a project there, great, let's do it. Let's get together and provide it. If some members can join, that's great. If not, and they want to do a project closer to their home, that's great too. So it's been an interesting aspect that COVID has created. So we're happy that you reached out, because we've not met with any other eClubs. We're the first one in our district. I don't think there's that many other ones really in Illinois altogether. Most of them are your rural daily groups that meet once a week at a restaurant, and they're heavily focused on that. So this is my wife, Crystal, who's now joining us. We did introductions. You want to introduce yourself? basically
hello,
name and
Crystal.
some facts. But
What?
you gotta say how long you've been in Rotary and what do you got going on that's coming up next week?
Oh, oh gosh, I don't know how long I've been in Rotary.
5 years, probably 6
Less
years.
than you, yeah. But we were part of 2 different clubs, one in the Metro East, and then we started this one here when we moved to Nokomis. Yeah, and next week I'm set to deliver. So,
Yay, congratulations.
thank you.
Thank you.
And that kind of what you're talking about, Trent, kind of leads into what we kind of talked about in the email, was leading into our service stuff. So have y'all done any like eClub based service projects, or has it just kind of been like reach out to those in person around you?
We've gotten together and done some in person. I'm intrigued by, you know, some potential virtual projects, whether it be fundraising or otherwise, because we've not done any of those. Usually it's been, okay, if we have members in a certain area, let's do a project and we'll get all together to either prepare books or pack little hygiene product kits that we gave out in one project. But we've not really done anything virtual wise, but we have ran some projects based on the grants. We've had several landscaping projects where we get together and say, hey, bring your kids and some shovels and just go clean up a local park, memorial house that we have here in town and stuff like that.
Awesome. Well, I will turn it over to our service chair, Andrew, and he can talk a little bit about what we've done, since we are kind of spread all across East Texas. And then we also have Sarah in North Carolina and Andrew in Tennessee. So I'll hand it over to Andrew. If you can unmute.
Sorry, I was trying to get a file on my computer so I could share. I've been the service chair for this past Rotary year. I believe I'm continuing that in the new Rotary year. But honestly, our club really comes together. Anyone who has an idea, I mean, we are always open to finding ways to do projects. Something that our current project is, we partnered with Be the Match. If you're not familiar with it, it is genetic DNA testing for people who have who need stem cell transplants, whether through bone marrow or just a blood transfusion. It's a very easy process. You register on their website, they send you a little kit, you swab your cheek and you send it back, and it takes all of about 3 minutes or less to do, and that includes the walk to the mailbox. So but a lot of people like to donate blood, and donating blood is something we've done as a project before, but the need for people to match for these stem cell donations, I want to say the statistic is like less than 20% of people have a close genetic relative who's all matched with. And so it's a project. So we've been sharing on social media and just trying to do like a virtual drive to get people to register. And that was the file I was looking for, which I think I finally found. So I'll share that here in a moment. But other projects we've done, we have in the past, we've done like environmentally focused ones where we'll encourage each of our members to do something in their local area. I don't think we have any 2 members who live within 20 miles of each other. It's probably more than that. Does that sound right, Layla?
Yeah, about 20
Yeah.
years. So yeah.
I don't even know if we have 2 members who live in the same town.
Yeah, Madeline and Elizabeth, they're the one exception.
Yeah, during College Station. So we have 2 members who in our entire club that live in the same town. So we try to, for us, it's not as easy to get together. I know Elizabeth has partnered with the Rotary Club there and Bryan College Station to put out flags. We've done, Wes posted in our chat, we raised money for Ukraine. We raised $2,400 for a Polish Rotary Club that they use to support children and moms who were refugees from the conflict in Ukraine. And which was really cool. We got to talk to them, and they got to show us what they're doing with that money and how they're so it's for our club, that's very unique to be able to see a like a direct impact. I think that's the first project like that we've done. Thanks to Wes for putting that together and reaching out and coordinating all of that, because I think that was a really cool thing. So future projects, something that I've been telling myself for a while we want to explore is contributing to an audiobook library for public domain books. So trying to read a book together as a club and add that to the audiobook to the public domain would be cool. I just have to do a little more research on that. So
We Andrew and I talked at the beginning of the school year. We sponsored teachers at my school on things that they needed, especially as a high school. We kind of get overlooked when it comes to school supplies, although they still use crayons and markers and and all the things, rulers, etc. Things that we still have to buy out of our own pocket when they get to our level, as opposed to those flyers that have all the general needs on there. So we sponsored the teachers at my school and got them some supplies. In the past, we've also done a book drive where we either purchased them on Amazon or sent them in. We also do Angel Tree during Christmas. And Liz and Madeline, since they live together, we send this stuff to them. They compile the list of needs for each of the kids, and then we go through and put our Amazon stuff on there and have it sent to Liz and Madeline where they can distribute it. So it is a lot more of trying to focus our energies towards one thing at a time. So, but we do try and strive for a year, one for each quarter. So,
I have a question as to the be a match aspect. So are you doing that for just a certain length of time, trying to build up signups for it, or how does that work structurally as to, how you got that going besides the flyer?
So I reached out to Be the Match, then coordinated with them. They're used to doing drives. Just the nature of what they do. Typically, they'll do in-person ones on like college campuses and whatnot, because to donate, to register, you have to be between the ages of 18 and 40. So they do in-person drives a lot, but they have a lot of experience promoting in the social media and digital realm. And so we reached out to them. This was specifically our Q4 project, but when I was setting everything up with Be the Match, they were like, the code we're going to give you guys is good for as long as y'all want to do it. Like, if y'all want to keep pushing this, then great. They're not going to say no to us continuing to help. But our focus was Q4 so officially our drive is going to end at the end of this month. But we may still push it out occasionally and see if we can't continue to help make a difference. And that was the file I was looking for.
What has been
Sarah
your
posted
turnout? Sorry, Trent.
Go ahead.
What has been your turnout for Be the Match? I mean, as far as volume of people you've reached or people who have you been able to get those numbers, or will it wait until the queue is over and then they'll give you the numbers of the number of people who have actually swabbed and sent in?
When we can add, they have those numbers pretty much anytime we ask for them. I haven't asked yet. I was going to wait until the end of the quarter and kind of do an announcement then. There, let me share this with y'all. There. So I just dropped, and so they actually put together some of this those promotional material together for us, and they shared and were like, hey, if y'all want to make y'all's own stuff, go ahead. Then so they were like, we have some stuff we can share with you. So this is some of the stuff that they sent us, and we've got some informational infographics that they sent to us and things like this. So, promoting this on social media, talking to friends, family, coworkers, that kind of thing.
Did you press send, Andrew? I didn't get anything.
Did it not go? It shows that it's sent on mine. Oh,
Andrew,
I
you
hit
sent
send.
it to me. You sent it directly to me.
Oh, I don't know what I did to do that, but sure. I promise I work with computers for a living. This isn't usually this hard.
Isn't that always the case? Well, he's figuring that out. Any other questions? Or
Thank you, Wes.
We're a team, my man.
It's like here, I'll share some of the others.
yeah, and it was really simple. I did mine, and it really did take like less than 3 minutes.
When was your club chartered?
I'll let Sarah take that one over.
We officially chartered February 20th of 2020. Really easy for me to remember that because it's my brother's birthday. That's the date that's on our charter. We found out a little after that, late February, and then we started meeting in April of that year, 2020.
Okay, yeah, we were chartered in July 21. So basically right before COVID, you guys chartered the club.
Yeah, it was interesting timing. We a lot of us from RILA, who were kind of running our RILA camp at the time, we all got together and said, we need a Rotary Club that works for us, that works better for us, because we were all spread out, but we wanted to stay connected, and we wanted to get other RILA staff members, alumni who kept coming back to volunteer at the camp. We wanted more of them to get involved in Rotary. So there were a lot of driving factors. And so in 2019, kind of at the end of that Rotary year or RILA year for us, I started doing the research, and a lot of us kind of talked about what the priorities were, and did about a year of the research and planning and paperwork. And then it just happened to all fall into place right after RILA of 2020. So it was about a year-long process of getting it all together. And then, yeah, it was like right at the same time as the world was shutting down from COVID, our club came together. And while all of Rotary was saying, what do we do? How do we, not let Rotary totally fall apart? We just very seamlessly did our thing. So it was kind of neat how that worked out, and our district and even some other districts, and Rotary International even reached out and said, like, what are y'all doing? What's working? I ended up speaking at the virtual convention in 2021 about like how we kind of came to be and function as an eClub in COVID times. So lots of really cool things with that timing. Just happened to be right there where everything went online.
Yeah, it's interesting because Alice and I had lunch today, and we were talking about, whenever we go to a district event, everybody's like, oh, you're the eClub. How does that work? It's like, we meet on Zoom just like you meet in person. and it's, you know, it's mainly older members, but still it's like it's some crazy idea. And I think it, you know, it spawned out of more acceptable out of COVID, but it's interesting to hear how you guys, you know, got to that right before COVID. So that's very interesting how that happened. And I think it's really going to open up the opportunity for younger people to get involved. Because that was every club I've been a part of was, okay, how do we get younger people? How do we get younger people? And evening clubs were an easier sell most of the time because, you know, then it's not during the day. Most, you know, our age work all day. So that, you know, Zoom, I think, is going to offer that opportunity. But it's great to hear about some of your guys' projects and how you came to be. And we have one going on right now, the literacy project that we're doing that provides, you know, we bought books for elementary school for their library for some classes, food pantry that also wants to give out books to kids that come with parents to get food, and then also some other schools. But I'm trying to posted a Facebook link. A really neat project that we did with the district grant is we had some local teachers that were talking about how they have a lot of students, female students, especially grade 5th and under, that came to school without having their hair combed, without a hair tie, without, you know, staple products. And this, you know, so we we started off with hygiene packs, but it wasn't that type of pack. You know, it involved tampons or you know, those types of things, but we, you know, deodorant, stuff like chapstick, you know, little things. So we created power packs. And then she was 7-year-old daughter at the time, helped create the image that's on it, which is really neat as well. Oh, there she is. Hi. And so we provided, I think, 300 or so of those. But our most of our focus is on kids and school projects and ways we can benefit them. Alice brought a great idea to us recently of a backpack program where there's students that don't have food at home. And so there's individuals in her community through the school district that prepare backpacks of food and send home for the weekends, for summer breaks, Christmas breaks to students. And so we had a drive and gathered up quite a bit of food and delivered it to the director of the backpack program here recently. So that's, you know, most of our projects are that, but it's been neat to, you know, one thing about having people in different locations is different ideas of, okay, what does your community need? And then finding out that our community needs the same thing. And so we're at the point where we're wanting to find some virtual ideas. So it's neat to hear what you guys have been doing. But in your areas where you're at, or have you been a part of any polio, World Polio Day events?
I haven't. We don't have a lot, but we have 4 actually in Texarkana, 4 in person in Texarkana clubs. But they each kind of focus on their own individual thing. They're not very good at working with each other. But you know, it is how it is.
Sounds like most. Yeah, that's my project. So that's your project. You stay on your side of the town type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stay in Bryan College Station.
We've ran into some of that. You know, we've with my old club, we did it a few times because we were a group in Metro East St. Louis. So basically, Illinois side of St. Louis, there's a pretty big Metro East area, and we did a project in one town, and the old 100-year-old club was not pleased that we did a project in their town. And so that's, yeah, it's like we're all Rotary. It was hard to fathom when it happened. But so we have a neat program that we put together, and it's not so much virtually, but we've been able to string other places together for Pints for Polio. So we do it, in our area, we gather at a local brewery, and we have other members and other clubs gather, other bars, other breweries. It's expanded to ice cream shops, because Pints for Polio, and some other things. And there's been people will go to bowling alleys and they'll be bowling for polio. And so we try to string them together in our district of having series of bars and breweries And if you can't come in person, we typically have a computer set up to attend virtually as well. And you can sit and drink beer wherever you're at and be part of it. But it's been a good way to get out in the public, and it's, you know, it's gained us some good public image. And, you know, because we're all at local bars, we got signs up, we're doing the purple pinkies that I'm sure you guys are familiar with, and other things to raise money for polio. But that's started to be really big around here, is stringing together polio events to try to help raise money, especially because of how polio has gone because of COVID. And it came back a little bit, not a lot, but still enough to be terrifying. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, except Rotarians probably for the most part. But I was curious if you guys did anything like that. But it's a really neat event that we have been doing every year since I think we actually did one right before we chartered. But
When is the next one coming up, Trent? Do you know?
October. So yeah, it should be in October.
And then we also occasionally do some social events, just like a get together somewhere if people can attend. And I think that's nice for a virtual club to be able to face have conversations with people too. And so Trent and Crystal have been really good as the presidents of trying to get those events out there too, where sometimes there isn't anything behind it other than a social gathering.
Which we're going to try to have one of those maybe in July as well. Alice and I talked about that today, just so you're aware, which we have a fundraiser coming up next week. We're doing bingo at a local homecoming. We took it over from a fire department last year and was actually a lot more fun than I expected. We did quarter card and ended up making $600 or so over a few days, which for a quarter card, everybody was like, you really got to up the amount. So I think we're going nuts and going 50 cents this year. But you know, we're hoping to make $1,000 or so. But for the most part, most of our projects stretch around grants or things that we don't have to spend money on, such as landscaping or aesthetic things like that at places that need it, or just gathering up donations. So in person, but we try to get the word out virtually as much as we can.
I'm interested in that virtual escape room. What is that all about? Because I was a part of a few different kind of wild events that we had, during COVID with HFMA, which is a healthcare a group that we get together, quite often. And we had a few of those events like horse racing, which was really, really neat. So I was kind of curious, how'd that go?
So here is.
And is it free? One.
Yeah, absolutely free. Let me make this bigger so I can figure out what I'm doing. There we go. Here is just one. This is one of the last ones we did. This one is a spy themed one. I also have links because we ended up having to, as part of the operations team, we have 5 members that have been part of the ops team, from Sarah, Liz, MFA, Delane, and myself. We had to pivot during that COVID time and create a virtual RILA. So going from our in-person RILA, where we do high ropes and low ropes course events and speakers, we pivoted and made a virtual RILA. So at one point, these were all the things that, what can you do to build teams, like that teamwork aspect as in virtual setting. And so these are just a few. I'll just drop them all in here. There's only like 4, but they are really fun. You can find a lot of them just randomly online. They're just created through Google Forms. It's something that even like as a club, if you wanted to create your own, like, of course, one of the ones we really loved was Hogwarts. If we wanted to create like a Rotary focused one, that would also be a fun idea. It's basically like whatever your little heart desires, and then you just create questions and little logic things, and they vary from super simple to those of us who are challenged at math and can't add very well. Theater teacher. So it's fun to have those groups of people and then getting to laugh at yourselves along the way when you can't guess the right answer the first time. So it was really fun.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely. We are headed up on like the end about it's 7:28 of our 7:30. I don't know how flexible everyone is. But I also just wanted us to be able to get what we usually do when we're running up on the end, but we're still like talking and everything, is we just go ahead and do the 4-way test for those that then need to hop off. If y'all are good with that, because I know some people are like, it's tired, it's time to cook.
Shower after the gym.
Shower after the gym, right? Because a lot of us are just on our way from doing that. So I just have the 4-way test because I know like Dr. Pam isn't a member yet, but hopefully will be soon. So usually we all just come off mute, and then Trent, would you like to lead us in it?
Sure. Of the things we think,
say or do.
Is it
the truth?
Fair to all concerned. Well, build
goodwill,
That would be beneficial to all concerned.
Can I
Awesome.
please get that emailed to me?
Absolutely, Dr.
I'm
Pam.
never able to join in. Thank you,
Even
dear.
after 10 years, I screwed up, obviously. So it's a long day.
I'm
Well,
okay
this is the
then. I'm
point in
okay
the
then.
conversation where Wes normally makes a lawyer joke.
Absolutely. There it is.
You all take care. It was wonderful being in your company again.
Absolutely, Dr. Pam. So if you need to hop off, if you have familial obligations, totally understandable. My husband's still at the gym, so I'm just hanging out.
All righty. Y'all take care.
Bye, Dr. Pam.
Pleasure meeting you.
For my members, we have the fundraiser coming up for bingo. Sign Up Genius is out. We have had some that sign up. If you have not already, that is July 7th, 8th, and 9th. For that, please sign up if you're able to. Our next meeting is on June 20th at 6:30. Alice and I have been talking about the transition for her taking over, so she may be reaching out to some of you. We also have a local project of our library locations. So if interested, let us know. We're going to try and get some people together to help the library move. They need volunteers to help move books from one location to the new location.
When are you planning on doing that, Trent?
I think it's ongoing currently.
Anytime we can set a date, we need to set a date. I think they're going to be done by they want to be done by the 20th.
Right.
They're posting every day for workers, so
we can, you can do it individually if you want, depending on schedule. We can get together. It's just going to be dependent on schedule.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Wes, where's your I think your daughter lives in England. Where's she live at?
My oldest daughter, Katrina, and her husband live in Manchester. He works for the University of
Manchester. Okay.
And so it's been a big transition for them. They lived 10 years in Seoul, South Korea. And so then
we had friends that lived just north of Leeds, and then now they're moving. They came back, and now they're moving just north of London by Cambridge.
Okay.
So I don't know if they were close to that area or not.
Yeah, UK is a wonderful place.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, we raised our kids to just go. And so a big part of what we did, I wish I had taken advantage of Rotary exchange program. That would have been better. But my intrepid wife would just take the kids and live in another country for a summer with the kids. And so we told them just go. So.
It's very cool because now you get to travel the whole world, checking on them and seeing everything else that they know. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's great to see them embrace curiosity and experiment and take risk and go enjoy life. So my number 2 son, for example, he's living in Dakar, Senegal, for 6 months. He's studying French. He just needed an inexpensive place to go study French. So he just packed up and moved to Senegal. Okay, good for him. So. Mm-hmm.
It makes you want to stop practicing law and just start moving other places, right? Okay.
Yeah, well, actually, I've been working on that. We did an experiment. I lived in The Hague for about 18 months. I went back and forth to make it, to see if I could make my law practice work virtually and go back and forth. And there are pros and cons. The biggest difficulty is the time zone, the time difference. But there are other places like Montreal, which is only an hour difference, that would be really possible. So we'll continue to experiment with that.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks. All right. Well, good to chat with you. I'm going to sign off and travel tomorrow. So thank you so much. Really, Alice, Trent, thank you very much for helping put this together. It's really nice of you to.
Thank you for reaching out to us.
Let's don't make it the last one. Let's say in about 6 months. Let's do it again. Let's do it again in 6 months.
Yeah, and feel free to share
great.
if you have big speakers coming up. Feel free to share that. We always try to tell members join other meetings. It's a really good way.
Good idea. That's a very good idea. I do a little post, and like I did for this one, and so if I get a speaker, I'll send it to you, and you can make use of it. So
yeah, sounds good. And then if we could get the recording as well, we record our meetings as well, and for people to listen to. So if I could get that, so I can post to the other club members who couldn't make it tonight. I'm getting text messages from some saying they had kid issues come up or something, they couldn't make it. So if I could get that.
Absolutely. I'll have him send that over.
Great.
Awesome. Well,
let us know if you'll have projects that that maybe we can pitch in on, and we'll try and do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by the Be the Match project. So it's
Please feel free to share.
We'll do it.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Nice meeting you.
Have a great rest of y'all's evening. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Now I'll talk soon.